Hello there, this is Will with DIY Automotive, and today we're going to be taking a steering column out of a 95 Honda Civic 5-speed DX, and we're going to explain to you how to get this done, whether you're changing the ignition switch or swapping the whole column. Hopefully this video will help you and make it a little bit easier. If you enjoy the video and you like it, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep you updated on more DIY videos for automotive. Thank you so much, and let's get started. Alright, here you see we've got our tools laid out. We've got a 1/4-inch kit, a nut driver, 3/8 sockets here. We've got deep well and short. Metric, of course, being a Honda. We've got a small pair of pliers, pair of wire dikes to cut some zip ties or pull some tabs away. We've got a Phillips head and a flathead. And this should get you going here and get you taken care of as far as getting your column out. So let's get started here. Let's take a look at the vehicle. Here's our steering column here, intact. First thing you're going to want to do is remove this lower shroud here. You're going to have several Phillips head screws here. You got one here, one there, and we've got another one right here. And underneath, let's see what we've got. It'll be hard to see here. Doesn't look like we have anything underneath. The panel should be self-tabbed in for the bottom side here. So let's get this panel off and see what we've got. Okay, guys? Alright guys, as you can see, we've got our lower panel off there, and there's actually a metal bracket that's behind this plastic panel. It's secured to the dash with two 10mm bolts. We've got one right there, and on the other side we've got one in there. So we're going to go ahead and remove those, and it'll expose the underside of the column. Okay, guys? Alright guys, as you can see, we've got the lower metal bracket removed, and at the base of the column here, right here, we've got a plastic shroud that's encasing the, it's just a protective case that cases the lower shaft assembly of the column. This is where it hooks up to the knuckle assembly that goes to the rack and pinion. We're going to need to remove that here in just a second. You'll see on the bottom part of the column, there's two 12mm bolts we're going to have to remove right here. And then inside the shroud, you can see a 12mm here and a 12mm here. Those two bolts have to be removed as well. So we're going to take those out as well as that plastic shroud, so we can get to the lower bolt for the steering shaft, and we'll go from there, guys. Okay guys, we've got our lower plastic piece off, the shroud piece for the lower section of the steering column. Here at the firewall, you will notice there's a let me see, it's either a 10 or a 12mm bolt going through. You see it right there, going through that knuckle assembly. We need to get that bolt out so we can have the lower shaft of the steering column free. So when we go to remove it, it'll just slide right out. Okay, we're going to get that pulled out, as well as our 4 bolts for our column that's mounting it to the dash. Okay, give us just a second. All right guys, we got that lower bolt out of the steering shaft there, where the knuckle meets the lower part of the steering column. What we're going to do now is try to unplug our main plugs here for our steering column wires. We have one here, say brown plug. We need to unplug that. And let's see what else we've got. There's another plug. Let me see here. Where's this at? Right here, if you can see where I'm pointing. Right here, there's the second plug. And then we've also got an airbag plug that we're going to have to unplug from the column, which is going to be right here, this main plug here for the airbag. So we need to get that unplugged as well. And we'll go from there. Let's get these unplugged before you want to try to do this before you drop the column, because it's going to make it chaotic. When you go to drop this column, you're going to be trying to scramble and get these wires undone. So let's get that done, guys, and we'll see where we're at. Alright folks, now that we've got our column down and it's dangling within the dash there, as you see, you will notice there's going to be another separate set of wires here. These wires are what's running to your turn signal and wiper switch here. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to flip the column over, okay, and let's see if we can roll this over so you can see. It's a little bit easier to do this with it kind of dangling here. You're going to have a couple Phillips head screws we're going to need to remove. You've got two up front here. We've got one towards the back right beside my hand. And let's see. What we're going to want to do is remove these screws to get the shroud assembly off of the column so we can actually physically unplug these wires up under the shroud here. So let's get that done so you can see where these plugs are at. Okay guys, we've got the upper and lower shroud assembly off the column, and as you'll see, when you get those 3 screws out from the bottom, the top will actually just snap off. It's got little tabs that just snap down to the lower part of the shroud. So once you remove those, you're going to look and see here, there's one plug here, 2 plugs on the turn signal switch, and roll it over and you'll see 2 plugs for the wiper switch. You want to go ahead and remove these and set this harness out of the way so it's not in your way, guys, when you remove the column. Alright guys, as you can see, we've got our wires unplugged. The column's out of the car. It's sitting on top of the car here. As you notice, you can see your ignition switch. The wiring for the ignition switch is all intact. These plugs that we unplugged off of the switches here, the turn signal and the wiper switch, you just have a little tab you push in, pull the plug out, and you're good to go. Once you get those 4 wires, those 4 plugs out of there, you can pull your column out and install your new column, or you can actually replace your ignition switch, which we'll cover in a separate video, but which you'll have to follow these steps that we just did to replace this ignition switch. So I hope this was helpful, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and leave a comment, and I'll be sure to respond to it. And I appreciate your time, and keep watching for more DIY videos. We'll be posting them soon. Hopefully we'll be able to do it daily. You guys have a great day, and God bless. Thank you.